have about 5 pounds of beef ready to go for our beef curry. I've cut them into smaller cubes, 1.5 size pieces, more uniformed, and I've seasoned it with our beef seasoning, which will follow after this. I'm gonna let it sit for half an hour to get room temperature. In the meantime, I'll be cutting up my potatoes, tomatoes, onions, garlic, and preparing my curry spices. So here is our seasoning for our beef curry. Look at the size of these green onions. It's from my garden. Crazy, right? Onions, tomatoes, garlic, weary, and this are thyme leaves. Really, really fragrant. So I'm gonna cut all of this up, prepare it. Michael is outside there. He's pulling the potatoes for the curry. I can't tell you how thankful and blessed I feel to be able to grow my own vegetables and eat it. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Is there any more?
No, that's it.
Okay, we have our potatoes washed and we're ready. Hey guys, so this video I'm going to show you how to make my turmeric paste. I don't use curry powder at all. If I can avoid using any type of powder, I do, because most powders are ground through stone mill still, you know, in parts in third world countries, and where most of our spices come from, and they cause a lot of gallstones, hence why a lot of Indian people get gallstones. So I try to use fresh turmeric in my turmeric paste. You can see here. I don't really like shave it or clean it. I just kind of cut off most of the brown parts. I still leave some on. I wash them and prep it, and then I put it in my blender and make a paste. And once I've got the paste, I usually put them in ice cubes. I freeze them, and that's what I use to make my curries. Sometimes soups if people are sick, because you know turmeric is very healing for the body. I usually make like a pumpkin soup and I add turmeric to it. It's delicious, and also, as I said, anti-inflammatory. So this turmeric paste can be used for a lot of things, and once you make a big batch ahead of time, it's easy peasy from there. So I usually do like maybe 3 pounds of turmeric and ginger and garlic and pepper. After this video, I will put out the recipe of what I actually use, and you can try to make it at home. If I can get it opened. Here we go. I'm not gonna waste that. I'm gonna rinse that out with water and add it to my curry. It's really pungent smelling, and so what I would do is just fill up an ice cube. And I would make like, you know, upwards of 3 or 4 of these, put them in the freezer. Once they're frozen, take them out, leave them in Ziploc bags, and then I would use them in my curries. There's also this cool ice cube tray I've used. It's about the same amount. Works great. It's flexible. I got it off of Amazon. So entirely up to you what you want to use to measure them out. But say if I was doing chicken curry and I had a whole chicken cut up, I would use 2 of these. So for the beef, it's about 5 pounds. I'll be using 3 of them. Okay, so that's about the measurement. If you like it a little bit more strong, then you can go ahead and use, you know, an extra one. Entirely up to you. For if I'm making like soup for 4 people, I just use 1. And this is a great time saver. You're not using, you know, powders with fillers, because I read somewhere turmeric powder, if you're not careful where it comes from, it's like 40% dye, like man-made dye, not the actual turmeric dye. So this is a great way to feed your family, and you're giving them something nice and fresh, and it never loses the taste. You know, when you freeze something, sometimes it loses the taste. It actually tastes similar to using it fresh, which we've made some today, and when we make our beef curry, we're going to be using it fresh. So here we have our curry blend. We have our cumin, coriander, mixed masala. This is cardamom. Here we have some cinnamon, both ground and whole, some clove, and allspice. And this is the mixture I use specifically for my beef curry. Sometimes I'll use the same mixture for lamb and goat, but chicken is completely different and fish is completely different. Okay, now we're gonna just add this to a hot pan and let it toast up. You can see what's happening there. And then once I get it nice and toasted, I'm gonna add my meat, which has been made. The beef has a nice brown on it. Now is the perfect time to add in my onions, and I have 2 onions here to add in. And then I'm gonna let that simmer for a bit. And then once I've done that, I'm gonna add 1 cup of red wine. So our curry is simmering here, and the onions have been cooking for about 2 minutes. To it, now I'm gonna add one of my favorite bottles of wine. Don't go buying cheap wine to cook with. You know, it defeats the whole purpose of buying good quality products and having a good quality meal. So if you're gonna go to all this trouble, whatever it is you drink, you should use it to cook. This is a Sandbanks Merlot. I love this, so I'm putting it definitely into my, you can hear now the cooking has kind of gone down to a low. Now I'm gonna add my curry paste, about 4 tablespoons I'm gonna add to this one. And then I'm not gonna let this waste. I'm just gonna mix it up with some water and then add it to this. Once I've done that, I'm gonna cover it down, bring it down to a medium low, and let it cook for about 40 minutes before I add my potato, tomatoes, and green onions. Curry's been cooking for about 20 minutes. Actually, it's been about 30 minutes, and now I'm gonna add in the potato, tomatoes, make sure to get that all in there, and let it simmer down for another 10. Here we have our beef curry, salt and pepper to taste. Just gonna make some rice, or if you're gonna have this with roti, and it's even better tomorrow once the flavors have sunk in. Enjoy.